The process of photosynthesis produces ATP from ADP and PI by using the energy from light to excite electrons that are passed along an electron transport chain. Coupled with the transfer of electrons is the pumping of hydrogen ions and the splitting of water molecules.
Photosynthesis is a process by which plants utilize the energy from the sun to produce food and energy, and even the oxygen we breathe. Photosynthesis is divided into two stages, the light-dependent reaction and the light-independent reaction. This takes place in plants' special cells called chloroplasts, which contains stacks of thylakoid cells which is suspended in a fluid matrix called stroma. The process of phosphorylation is responsible for the production of energy ATP. The thylakoid membrane is composed of different light-capturing structures called photosystems. The first reaction takes place in photosystem 2, or P680. Here, energy from the sun is captured to excite electrons. These electrons that is present in chlorophyll A is excited and transfers from high energy concentration to a lower concentration. Since P680 lost electrons, a need to replace these electrons is necessary. That is why there is the need for oxidation of water. Oxidation in photosynthesis means the stripping off of electrons from water molecule, since oxygen is an electronegative atom. 2 electrons are obtained from the splitting of water molecule. After the splitting of water, oxygen is released in the atmosphere while hydrogen atoms are retained in the thylakoid lumen. Meanwhile, the transport of electron actually sets up pumps in the membrane, acting as their energy sources to gather hydrogen atoms from the stroma towards the lumen of the thylakoid. After some time, there is a presence of a high concentration of hydrogen atoms inside the thylakoid membrane. These hydrogen atoms would now tend to go back to the stroma. This is what we call chemiosmosis. This is how ATP is produced. These hydrogen atoms pass through the ATP synthase complex, which acts like a generator pump. The hydrogen atoms pass through this complex, causing it to rotate or converting chemical to mechanical energy. This energy causes one phosphate molecule to bind with ADP, producing ATP. After some time, the electrons will end up to NADP, causing it to be reduced to NADPH. This reaction takes place in photosystem 700. The light-independent reaction or the dark reaction happens in the stroma. The stroma is the liquid part of the chloroplast. This dark reaction is the synthesis part of photosynthesis. It uses the energies released by the light-dependent reaction and carbon dioxide to produce glucose. Ribulose 5-phosphate is added with another phosphate group from ATP to produce the needed compound to initiate the cycle. This process is called phosphorylation. The produced compound which is needed to fix the carbon dioxide is called the ribulose 5-phosphate, or RUBP. With the presence of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the stomates of the leaves are able to accumulate it. Carbon dioxide is vital in the process because it initiates the beginning of the Calvin cycle. Carbon dioxide is being fixed by the RUBP with the aid of the enzyme Rubisco. Rubisco enzyme is said to be the most abundant protein in Earth, and they are present in the stroma of the chloroplast. Since the formed compound is unstable, it will split into 2, giving us 6 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate or PGA. The 3-phosphoglycerate or PGA will undergo the process of phosphorylation. Then, it will undergo the process of reduction, wherein the PGA will gain hydrogen ions. It will form glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate or phosphoglyceric acid or PGAL. The 5-PGAL will continue the cycle while the other 1-phosphoglyceric acid molecule will be left behind to form 1 molecule of glucose. The Calvin cycle needs to have 6 turns or cycles before the glucose and other sugars will be formed. The 5 molecules of PGAL or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate will be used in reforming the 5-carbon starting material, which is the ribulose 1,5-phosphate, thus completing the cycle.